we shift our focus away from Norway to the United States of America, where we're learning that at least 6 people have now been burnt in a targeted terror attack in Colorado's Boulder at Park Street Mall during a rally for Israeli hostages who are held by Hamas in Gaza. Now, the FBI Director Kash Patel has described it as an act of terror, and he stated that federal agents have joined local law enforcement on the scene. You can clearly see visuals from Boulder, Colorado towards the right of your screens. This is a targeted terror attack that has taken place at the Park Mall Street. This was taken place during a rally, in fact, that was carried out in support of the hostages, the Israeli hostages who are held by Hamas in Gaza. Remember, talks for a ceasefire, they're underway, of course. Earlier we learned that a truce had been reached, a deal had been reached, but then of course there were some remarks made, some conditions put forth, some proposals were put forth by Hamas that US Special Envoy to the Middle East Steve Witkoff ended up rejecting. Now, of course, a terror attack has taken place in Colorado's Park Street. Remember, just last week another attack had taken place in Washington DC, where in fact 2 employees, 2 diplomats from the Israeli embassy, they were in fact killed in that. So yet another tragedy, this time in Colorado's Park Street. 6 people have been targeted in a terror attack in Colorado. Meanwhile, we're learning that Kash Patel, FBI director, has in fact stated that this is a terror attack. He stated that federal agents are working on the ground, that law enforcement is now tracking this case very, very closely. This is of course the latest that we are tracking. Meanwhile, my colleague Arzu Seth with us on the broadcast to share more details. Arzu, what exactly transpired in Colorado's Park Street?
A violent incident occurred in Colorado where 6 people were injured after a men threw Molotov cocktails at a group supporting Israeli hostages. And also the suspect, 45-year-old Mohammed Soleiman, shouted "Free Palestine" during the attack. Also, the attacker allegedly used a makeshift flamethrower and threw Molotov cocktail at the participants of a pro-Israel demonstration near the Pearl Street Mall, injuring 6 people, each between 67 to 88-year-old. Also, the FBI is investigating this incident as a targeted terror attack and an act of ideological motivated violence. Also, FBI Director Kash Patel and also Colorado Attorney General has described the incident as a hate crime. Also, we see, Director of the US FBI Kash Patel also, said that we are aware of and fully investigating a targeted terror attack in Colorado. Also, our agents and the local law enforcement are on the scene already, and we will be sharing the other updates as available.
Indeed, Arzu, quick follow-up to that. We're also in fact learning that White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller has now made a post on X where he has now stated that the accused Soleiman was in fact a foreign national who illegally overstayed his visa. In fact, sources and these are unconfirmed sources as of now, but they are suggesting that Soleiman is an Egyptian national who entered the US on a non-immigrant visa in 2022, but there is confirmation from the White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller, who has stated on X that the accused illegally overstayed his visa.
Well, definitely, he has been illegally, living there, and the incident that happened is very concerning. And also, as a result of these preliminary facts, it is clear that this is a targeted act of violence, and FBI is investigating this act as the terrorism. Also, the information that is coming, as you also mentioned, that the suspect was living illegally in the US. So also this, as this attack comes, the investigation will also be increased, and also there will be a deep, investigation that will be done in this case, as 6 people have been injured, and also, attack comes shortly after the fatal shooting in Washington of 2 Israeli embassy workers. So this is a very, serious concern, as 6 people have got injured, and also now FBI investigating the entire matter. Yes.
Indeed, and those visuals on your screens, viewers, you can clearly see the accused, the shirtless man. He's carrying Molotov cocktails in his hands that he used to, in fact, throw at the victims and, of course, cause those burns on those 6 individuals. Meanwhile, we will continue to track more news and updates. I would like to thank Arzu for joining us this morning, sharing all those details. Stay tuned for more on NewsX as we dip into a quick short break.